If you didn't attend last year's convention, here's what you missed.
Today, everybody who hears my voice is the class of 2023. So even though you may not be graduating from second grade or into high school or from college, we're all graduating from different stages of our lives into the next one. So when I say class 2023, I'm talking to all of you this morning. So class 2023, I first want to start off by saying congratulations. You did it. All those lessons learned, days in the classroom, presentations you had to do, and tests you had to take have finally paid off, and you have made it to the finish line. For some of you, this is your first major finish line. For others, this is your second or your third. Regardless of which it is, you have made it to the finish line, and you should be proud of this yourself and the work that you have put in to get here. When I was first asked to give you all this speech, I'm going to be honest, I was kind of reluctant. No, not because I don't like all of you or because I felt that I had something better to do. It's quite the opposite, actually. I was afraid. I was afraid that I would say the wrong thing to you all, afraid that I wouldn't say something impactful or meaningful enough. I felt this overwhelming, almost crushing sense of responsibility and purpose to give you all this perfect set of directions, the best advice on how to be the best versions of yourselves, the precise instructions needed to change the world. I spent a lot of time thinking about what I would say to you all, class of 2023. What are the words you all would want to hear? Better yet, what are the words you all need to hear? Usually I'm never afraid, okay? Usually I know what to say. Usually I can figure out what to do, but this time was different. Not only was I afraid, but now I was uncomfortable. I was very uncomfortable. But then I remembered it was never going to be me speaking to you all. It was never going to be me drawing from my own knowledge or my know-how or to inform you on what to do next. It was going to be God speaking through me. I was simply to be a vessel for a message that he gave to me, a message that I am now going to give to you all this morning. When I was able to realize that, I was able to give it all to him and allow him to speak through me. So this is what he gave me to give to you all. Uncomfortable. Having open heart surgery at 15 and having to balance friendships, basketball, and school while I felt I was losing myself, uncomfortable. Being the only black kid in my physics classes where I had to speak out on microaggressions or insensitive language. Oh, and don't forget I had to pass the class too. That was very uncomfortable. Even recently, seeing my mother in extreme pain and struggle as she battles back from a near-fatal car accident. Uncomfortable. And I know I'm not the only one. I'm sure all of you in this crowd, not just the graduates, can recount more than a few times during your lives where you were uncomfortable as well. While it's natural instinct to avoid this feeling and seek comfort, I want to change that for us, class of 2023. Now, this is going to sound crazy, but bear with me this morning. If you all don't remember anything else from this speech, I want you to remember this phrase and take it forward. Strive for uncomfortable. Most of you have probably heard the saying, be comfortable being uncomfortable, or be comfortable being uncomfortable. And while I used to love this saying, I actually don't like it that much anymore, in the sense that it implies that we aim to reach a level of comfort, and in the cases that we encounter situations where we aren't comfortable, we be okay and grow within them to a point where we are comfortable. But I don't want us to aim for comfort. I feel like God is calling us to more. I urge us to take it a step further and aim for uncomfortable. While this statement sounds wild, it's not as crazy as you think. It is through being comfortable that complacency is born. And it is through complacency that dreams die, change is prolonged, impact is diminished, and God's mission is not carried out. I don't want this for you all. You have fought through too much, endured too many days where you did not think you can go on, survived through too many times of doubt and discouragement. I mean, you all even survived an entire pandemic, all while managing to get assignments in by 11:59 p.m. You have endured too much and been blessed with too much potential to let that be how your stories play out. We were made to be uncomfortable. We were made to be put in places that challenge us in ways that we were not prepared for. It is through being uncomfortable that strength is born. It is through being uncomfortable that growth is curated. It is through being uncomfortable that change is made. Looking back on these times in my life where I felt uncomfortable, I can now be grateful for them. They forced me to grow. They forced me to improvise and work through difficulties. They forced me to become a stronger and better version of myself, which ultimately allowed me to serve my community in a greater capacity. Verses like Joshua 1:9, which says, "Have I not commanded you, be strong and courageous? Do not be frightened and do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." Or verses like Proverbs 3:5-6, where it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths." These serve as reminders that God knows we will reach these places of uncomfortability, that we will have times where we are afraid or times where we don't know what to do. But as I've been saying to you all, I want to change the way we look at uncomfortability. Being uncomfortable forces you to lean on God. It forces you to trust his plan and not your plan. It is a constant reminder that you are not in control, but the one who is, the creator of the universe, the one who wants to prosper you and wants you to see eternal life, he is in control. And he will always be there for you no matter what. So maybe uncomfortable isn't such a bad thing. Class of 2023, when you leave today, I do not want you all to seek a life of comfort. I want you to seek a life that challenges you, that makes you uncomfortable, one that is going to push you to heights you could not reach if you did not go through the fire. I want to also let you all know, if they have not started already, after today, people in your life are going to tell you to play it safe, to aim within reach, to stick to what you know. I say forget them. Remember, had our ancestors taken this same approach to life, we would probably still be in chains to this day. The greatest leaders, thinkers, entrepreneurs, and athletes all had and have one thing in common. They were willing to put themselves in uncomfortable situations. They understood that they couldn't reach the places they need to go, affect the change they desired, or impact the lives necessary if they stayed in a place of comfort. And they were right. Class of 2023, this is not the end of your journey, but rather the beginning. In this crowd, I believe you all have the potential to affect the change in this world it has never seen before. But I will tell you this, you will not reach that potential if you limit yourself and aim to be comfortable. Start that business, lead that event, fight for that change, speak out for what you believe in, show up for each other, and most importantly, seek God. Even if you are alone, even if you are uncomfortable, do it. The world needs people like you all. I can't wait to see how this class changes the world. Class of 2023, strive for uncomfortable. And to the parents of the church, allow God to work through the youth. In the same way God extends you grace and mercy and understanding both in the past and in the present, do the same to our youth. Give them room to make mistakes and grow. Allow them to explore their potential and calling. Remember that you aren't the one that can save your child. Only God can. Yes, this is an uncomfortable truth, but remember what I said about uncomfortability. Continue to love hard on them and support them. Every day they go out into a world that tries to pull them further away from God. Even if it seems they aren't listening, even if it seems they aren't responding, even if it seems you are losing them, Continue to pour into them. Continue to speak life into them. Continue to pray for them. They need your support and prayers now more than ever. So I will say once again to the class of 2023, and now also to the parents and to the church of the living God, strive for uncomfortable. Thank you.
You never know who's going to show up during this year's national convention, so make sure to join us July 17th through the 21st in Dallas, Texas. You don't want to miss it.